As promised, here's a look at my VCC 100 Intro to Visual Communications course that I taught back in '09. Now, there have been a couple updated versions of the text since then. This is the 4th edition. I think you're up to the 6th now, but a lot of similarities. I have an adjunct that's teaching this now, so I don't have access to the newer version that's been updated. But a lot of this information, I looked at the new book, and a lot of it's held true. We start out on announcements. I keep a limited number of buttons here so as not to confuse the students. Have a start here area with a welcome, a site tour where I explain the buttons, a weekly class planner where I walk students through what they'll need to do. Here's a syllabus. Now, these syllabus, I've played around with it some, so I'll send you a copy, but you really can't go by what's on there for point totals and such. But I will say that we use a point total. I give points for assignments and discussions and all, and then I work with those points, like 200 or 300 points for the class, and I break it down from there as to what's an A, B, and C. Syllabus there, and the main area here, of course, is the coursework, and this is where I divide it into the chapters. When I was doing the class, there were 17 chapters. It says 16, so I combined chapters 1 and 2. And I'll show you that. Also, the student preparedness quiz. We use that during the first week, and a student has to go through there and to ensure that they read the syllabus. And it's a real simple test, but we use it where when they complete this quiz, that's when the rest of the class can open up. And I'll send you a copy of the quiz there if you want to see what we do, just for fun. Chapter 1 and 2 here is pretty much similar. I break them down and use the same structure inside of all the folders. Notice on the front here we have what's inside, when it's due. I used to have classes due on Friday because I thought that worked out better, but I would encourage you to have classes or your assignments and everything due in the middle of the week when there's less traffic on the internet. That seems to work a little better and cause less problems. I also put the objectives that are covered in this folder and some of the fundamental concepts. So let's go inside of each folder and see how I've broken down each lesson. I start with instructor's notes, and this is where I can put in things that I think are important about the chapter after reading it. I also have a little video that I did, so it basically says the same thing as what's here, but this is where you can work in your little fun things that you've learned in life and make it more personal for the students. Assignment 1 here, I have a short assignment in each folder. Let's see. Here's a little information about it. Let's see what I have for the first assignment. Usually these aren't too tough, and I don't grade them too harshly. First assignment, take a screenshot of a photographic image that has caught your attention, and I think have them talk about it here, and I believe I come back to that a little later after we get into what images, assessing images a little more, and we come back to the image that he used earlier. Discussion forum, I strongly suggest using discussions. I think it makes the students more involved in the class. I have a rubric that I use, and I'll send you that too. Let's see what my first discussion is about. It's probably just to introduce themselves the first week. Oh, I asked them to find some things about light since we're talking about light. So go back to my coursework. Chapter 1 and 2. After the discussion, I also have them do a CI concept. And as I was saying at our meeting, this is an assignment that helps promote critical thinking. The CI, we'll look here at an example, and I can send you the rubric on grading these. I don't put a very high point total on these, but S means state, so we take a concept, they have to state it, give a brief explanation. E is elaborate on it, just go into it more. The other E is exemplify, give a concrete explanation, mainly an example. And then the last one is I, illustrate, and that's the tricky one. It's a metaphor analogy, meaning, and a lot of people just put more of an explanation in there. Well, let's go see my example and see what I use to help these students understand it. For the first one, we used light as the concept, and here's a little definition. We elaborate on the definition with the first E, then exemplify. For example, electromagnetic energy, is that outside the range of light that humans see, X-ray? But while humans can't see these forms of light, so we tell about what it is. Illustrate, give a metaphor analogy here. And I used the analogy of fingerprints, that some we can see and some we can't see. It's just like light. Some areas of light we can see and some we can't see, but we now have the technology to be able to see these light and fingerprints that are not visible. So that's a CI. Don't know if you want to use it or not, but I just want to show it to you. And let's go back up here to chapter 1 and 2. And finally, after we have a short quiz. I think I have 10 questions on this that I pulled from the chapters. I'd give them probably 20 minutes, I believe, to do 10 questions. They're going to use their text. There's no way around it. So hopefully with my assignment, the discussion, and the CI, we're all promoting, the learning information, what's in the chapter. That is one chapter, and I pretty much break it down that way each week. I do throw in some, about halfway through, I'll give an extra point opportunity. I always have areas where they can contact me, and we'll go back to the first, and that's basically it. I'll send you this. Hopefully this helps some and lets you break it down and gives you an idea of how we did the class. And good luck with Introduction to Visual Communications Online. Enjoy.